My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my increase than choice silver. I cause to walk in a path of righteousness, in midst of paths of judgment.
Today's reading from the Old Testament, Numbers chapter 33, verse 13 through chapter 34, verse 10. And they journey from Dophkah and encamp in Alush. And they journey from Alush and encamp in Rephidim. And there was no water there for the people to drink. And they journey from Rephidim and encamp in the wilderness of Sinai. And they journey from the wilderness of Sinai and encamp in Kibroth Hattaavah. And they journey from Kibroth Hattaavah and encamp in Hazeroth. And they journey from Hazeroth and encamp in Rithmah. And they journey from Rithmah and encamp in Rimmon Peres. And they journey from Rimmon Peres and encamp in Libnah. And they journey from Libnah and encamp in Risah. And they journey from Risah and encamp in Kehelathah. And they journey from Kehelathah and encamp in Mount Shapher. And they journey from Mount Shapher and encamp in Haradah. And they journeyed from Haradah and encamp in Megaloth. And they journeyed from Megaloth and encamp in Tahath. And they journeyed from Tahath and encamp in Terah. And they journeyed from Terah and encamp in Mithkah. And they journeyed from Mithkah and encamp in Hashmonah. And they journeyed from Hashmonah and encamp in Moseroth. And they journeyed from Moseroth and encamp in Benejaakan. And they journeyed from Benejaakan and encamp at Hor Haggidgad. And they journeyed from Hor Haggidgad and encamp in Jobbathah. And they journeyed from Jobbathah and encamp in Ebrona. And they journeyed from Ebrona and encamp in Ezion-Geber. And they journeyed from Ezion-Geber and encamp in the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh. And they journey from Kadesh and encamp in Mount Hor, in the extremity of the land of Edom. And Aaron the priest goes up to Mount Hor by the command of Yahweh, and dies there in the 40th year of the going out of the sons of Israel from the land of Egypt, in the 5th month, on the 1st of the month. And Aaron is a son of 123 years in his dying on Mount Hor. And the Canaanite, king of Arad, who is dwelling in the south in the land of Canaan, hears of the coming of the sons of Israel. And they journeyed from Mount Hor and encamp in Zalmonah. And they journeyed from Zalmonah and encamp in Punon. And they journeyed from Punon and encamp in Oboth. And they journeyed from Oboth and encamp in Abiram, in the border of Moab. And they journeyed from Am and encamp in Dibongad. And they journeyed from Dibongad and encamp in Almon-Diblathaim. And they journeyed from Almon-Diblathaim and encamp in the mountains of Abiram, before Nebo. And they journeyed from the mountains of Abiram and encamp in the plains of Moab by the Jordan, near Jericho. And they encamped by the Jordan from Beth Jeshimoth as far as Abel Shittim in the plains of Moab. And Yahweh speaks to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan, near Jericho, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, and you have said to them, when you are passing over the Jordan to the land of Canaan, then you have dispossessed all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and have destroyed all their imagery. Indeed, you destroy all their molten images, and you lay waste to all their high places. And you have possessed the land and dwelt in it, for I have given the land to you to possess it. And you have inherited the land by lot, by your families. To the many you increase their inheritance, and to the few you diminish their inheritance. To where the lot goes out to him, it is his. You inherit by the tribes of your fathers. And if you do not dispossess the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it has been that those whom you let remain of them are for pricks in your eyes and for thorns in your sides, and they have distressed you on the land in which you are dwelling. And it has come to pass, as I thought to do to them, I do to you. And Yahweh speaks to Moses, saying, Command the sons of Israel, and you have said to them, when you are coming into the land of Canaan, this is the land which falls to you by inheritance, the land of Canaan, by its borders. Then the south quarter has been to you from the wilderness of Zin by the sides of Edom, Indeed, the south border has been to you from the extremity of the salt sea eastward, and the border has turned around to you from the south to the ascent of Akrabim and has passed on to Zin, and its outgoings have been from the south to Kadesh Barnea, and it has gone out to at Hazar Adar and has passed on to Asmon. And the border has turned around from Asmon to the brook of Egypt, and its outgoings have been at the sea. As for the west border, even the great sea has been a border to you. This is the west border to you. And this is the north border to you. From the great sea you mark out for yourselves Mount Hor. From Mount Hor you mark out to go to Hamath, and the outgoings of the border have been to Zedad. And the border has gone out to Ziphron, and its outgoings have been at Hazar Enan. This is the north border to you. And you have marked out for yourselves for the border eastward from Hazar Enan to Shephem. Today's reading from the New Testament, Luke chapter 5, verses 14 through 39. And he charged him to tell no one, but having gone away, show yourself to the priest, and bring near for your cleansing, according as Moses directed, for a testimony to them. But the more was the report going abroad concerning him, and great multitudes were coming together to hear, and to be healed by him of their sicknesses. And he was withdrawing himself in the desolate places, and was praying. And it came to pass on one of the days that he was teaching, and there were sitting by Pharisees and teachers of the law, who were come out of every village of Galilee and Judea and Jerusalem, and the power of the Lord was to heal them. And behold, men carrying a man on a bed who has been struck with palsy, and they were seeking to bring him in and to place before him. And having not found by what way they may bring him in, because of the multitude, having gone up on the housetop, through the tiles they let him down with the little bed into the midst before Jesus. And he, having seen their faith, said to him, Man, your sins have been forgiven you. And the scribes and the Pharisees began to reason, saying, Who is this that speaks evil words? Who is able to forgive sins, except God only? And Jesus, having known their reasonings, answering, said to them, What reason you in your hearts? Which is easier, to say your sins have been forgiven you, or to say, Arise and walk? And that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on the earth to forgive sins, he said to the one struck with palsy, I say to you, arise, and having taken up your bed, be going on to your house. And immediately having risen before them, having taken up that on which he was lying, he went away to his house, glorifying God. And astonishment took all, and they were glorifying God, and were filled with fear, saying, We saw strange things today. And after these things he went forth, and beheld a tax collector by name Levi, sitting at the tax office, and said to him, Follow me. And he, having left all, having arisen, followed him. And Levi made a great entertainment to him in his house, and there was a great multitude of tax collectors and others who were with them reclining. And the scribes and the Pharisees among them were murmuring at his disciples, saying, Why do you eat and drink with tax collectors and sinners? And Jesus answering said to them, They who are well have no need of a physician, but they that are ill. I did not come to call righteous men, but sinners to conversion. And they said to him, Why do the disciples of John fast often, and make supplications? In like manner also those of the Pharisees. But yours eat and drink. And he said to them, Are you able to make the sons of the bride chamber in the bridegroom being with them to fast? But days will come, and when the bridegroom may be taken away from them, then they will fast in those days. And he spoke also an allegory to them. No one puts a patch of new clothing on old clothing, and if otherwise, the new also makes a split, and with the old the patch does not agree. That is from the new. And no one puts new wine into old skins, and if otherwise, the new wine will burst the skins, and itself will be poured out, and the skins will be destroyed. But new wine is to be put into new skins, and both are preserved together. And no one having drunk old immediately wishes new, for he says, The old is better. Today's reading from the Psalms, chapter 41, verses 3 through 9. Yahweh supports him on a bed of sickness. You have turned his bed in his weakness. I said, O Yahweh, favor me, heal my soul, for I sinned against you. My enemies say evil of me. When he dies, his name has perished. And if he came to see, he speaks vanity. His heart gathers iniquity to itself. He goes out at the street, he speaks. All hating me whisper together against me. Against me they devise evil to me. A worthless thing is poured out on him, and because he lay down, he does not rise again. Even my ally, in whom I trusted, one eating my bread, made the heel great against me. Today's reading from the Proverbs chapter 8, verses 19 and 20. My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my increase than choice silver. I cause to walk in a path of righteousness, in midst of paths of judgment.
And Aaron the priest goes up to Mount Hor by the command of Yahweh, and dies there. Man, your sins have been forgiven you. Even my ally in whom I trusted, one eating my bread, made the heel great against me.